Witam wszystkich serdecznie, z tej strony Drakonikus i dzisiaj zagramy sobie w Starfield. Mamy misję do wykonania, a konkretnie kontynuujemy naszą przygodę z piratami, czyli udajemy się na statek Siren of the Stars. Więc wybierzmy ten punkt na mapie. I musimy kawałek lecieć. I zobaczymy, co nas tam będzie czekać.
I apologize for coming over this emergency channel, but we are in need of assistance concerning the large ship in orbit, and we value discretion in this matter. If you are willing and able, please see me as soon as possible at the main security office in Paradiso. Over and out.
Zobaczmy, o co chodzi z tym statkiem.
Landing gear is ready. Sight is clear.
I think I set up an outpost on a planet like this once.
Mamy główne biuro obsługi. Cóż też ktoś tu od nas chce.
Enjoy your stay, knowing you're in our capable hands.
Przełączmy się na tamtą drugą misję. Wiem, że to będzie drobnych. Zadanie nam się pojawiło. Może dopiero jak pogadamy, to...
Welcome to Paradiso. Jiro Sugiyama at your service. Do you have a security concern, or is there something else I can help you with? Ah, yes, of course. I'm glad you came. As you can imagine, we're in a bit of a predicament. Under normal circumstances, we would not enlist outside help in this manner. But this is a matter we can't afford to worry our guests about. As such, we need to handle this discreetly. Failure on your part to do so could have severe consequences. So, before we proceed, can you swear not to discuss this with anyone else unless explicitly directed to do so? Great. I appreciate it. Not too long ago, a strange and enormous ship appeared in Parima space. It is now locked in orbit around our planet. So far, it doesn't seem to be hostile, but any attempts to communicate with it have been in vain, so we're unsure of the ship's intentions. What? No, geez, let's not be hasty. First, see if you have more luck communicating with them. If not, you may have to try boarding. Whatever you do, it's important to remember to seek diplomacy with who or whatever's on board. As soon as you have any more information, report to Oliver Campbell. He's the CEO of Paradiso. All formal decisions will need to go through him, and he'll have your pay. Good luck.
Okej, mamy poboczne zadanie. Więc wracamy na nasz statek i zobaczymy, o co chodzi z tamtym. Bo wydaje mi się, że to może być ten sam statek, do którego zmierzamy.
All thrusters firing.
Orbital insertion done. Time to dance among the stars.
A jednak to jest inny statek. On będzie tutaj w drobnych. Położenia. Które to zadanie było? Jest i statek, więc wołajmy go.
Ship is now docked. Perfect. Didn't even smudge the paint.
Stay alert. Weapons at the ready.
Remain calm. There's no reason to suspect whatever it is hostile.
I agree with the captain. Now is the time for diplomacy.
You're human. It's just that we weren't expecting to find life, let alone human life out here. We thought we were the only ones to leave Earth.
Well, I'll be. This is like a time capsule. Except with living, breathing people. We have got to explore this ship.
Perhaps we should greet our guests.
Of course. Manners. I'm Captain Diana Brackenridge. This is Security Officer Bomani Reader. And this is Dr. Mabuti da Costa, one of our elders.
A pleasure to meet you.
I see. As you may have presumed, we're in a bit of a bind. Our ship has finally completed its near 200-year journey from Earth, only to find our new home seemingly colonized by, well, we don't know. Communications haven't been successful, so your arrival is fortuitous. Perhaps you'd be willing to act as a middle person between ourselves and the others. Oh yes, of course. Where are my manners? Now then, please follow me. There's much to discuss first. We'll speak more on the matter once we reach the bridge. Dr. da Costa, you may return to your quarters if you wish.
Thank you, Captain.
I will follow you to the bridge, ma'am.
Fajny, duży statek.
I do not believe we have need to fear our guest, but I'll allow...
Ale wiecie co zrobię? Robię sobie szybki zapis i doczyt. Bo strasznie mi zaczęło przecinać. Jak przeładuję pliki z gry, to może będzie lepiej. No. Od razu lepiej.
Welcome to the Earth colony ship Constant. In the early 2100s, my ancestor, Rupert Brackenridge, researched a number of scientific scenarios. Climate change, asteroid impact, nuclear war, global pandemic.
Just because our equipment's old,
each scenario showed the likelihood of an extinction-level event to be within 50 years. He fully believed Earth was destined to be rendered uninhabitable. We've always assumed that's what happened. So, he gathered the best and brightest he could find, built the Constant, and set a course for this planet here. We were told that it was the largest, most advanced ship ever constructed on Earth at the time. If you can believe, entire generations have been born, lived, and died on this ship. It really goes to show that there are no limits to human ingenuity and perseverance.
Now that we know what's out there, things are going to be more interesting.
This whole place belongs in a museum. Heck, it is a museum.
Take no offense, but I'm keeping an eye on you.
No matter the outcome, I won't let my crew down. Difficult is the wrong word. It can be both challenging at times and also exciting. Our mission was to rebuild humanity on a distant world, believing that we were Earth's last hope. To think that while there has always been a Brackenridge in the captain's chair, that I am the one to finally oversee our journey's end is truly exhilarating. But with this stumbling block in our path, at this final moment, I fear tough choices will need to be made. A bit frazzled, as you can imagine. People are anxious about discovering that we're not alone, and also worried about what will come to pass. While we hope we can work out a deal with the people on the surface, they seem reluctant to reach out, so there's no telling what will come of that. I do know that we can't afford to stay here in orbit forever. The ship was built to sustain us for many years with backup provisions just in case, but even that will come to an end eventually. I think I'm coming up on 6 years now? I was only a teenager when my father died, passing command of the ship to me, as is tradition. Because of that, I've had to sort of learn as I go along, instead of taking years of study and apprenticeship under the prior captain. I think some people on the ship resent me for not having the level of experience as my predecessors. But at the same time, without my command, we likely wouldn't have made it here so quickly. Well, as I mentioned, we've been unsuccessful in communications with anyone up until you arrived, though not for lack of trying. But since you're asking, maybe you'd be willing to be a sort of diplomat between us and them as we attempt to resolve our situation. Does that sound agreeable to you? We suspect that our equipment is woefully obsolete compared to whatever you all have now. In all honesty, we never expected to need to communicate with anyone, so our comms aren't particularly robust. That limits our options. We even attempted communicating with lights and sounds, something we saw in an old movie, but I don't believe they picked up on it. If anything, it may have inadvertently alarmed them. Ah, so they have a name. Paradiso. And it sounds promising that they sent you here to speak with us. You see, we intended to settle here, but we assumed that they intend to defend their claim given their presence here. We'd like you to go speak to them on our behalf and help us negotiate a solution, preferably one that favors us. Yes, of course. But we need to start from a firm position and state our goal. If need be, we can compromise, work out a mutually beneficial deal or some such, but initially I'd like you to be firm with them and convince them to leave the planet to us. Let me know how they respond, and we'll go from there. We thought about it, but it simply won't do. I need to think about the distant future of our people. Sure, our first settlement may be small, but our predecessors dreamt of our new civilization spreading across the globe. That will be difficult if someone else plans to do the same. While we're not completely close to the idea of sharing, it's much easier if we have complete domain over this world.
Zachłanna.
Thank you, and Godspeed.
Zaraz wiedźmy sobie statek. Może się czymś zainspirujemy. No, statek jest naprawdę zacny, duży. Ma nawet windę. Prawie miasto.
These are exciting times, aren't they?
Kibelki.
Hey there. Just stay out of trouble.
Stołówka. Podejrzewam maszynownia.
Wow. Hi.
Fajny ten stateczek. Dobra, wracajmy na nasz statek i zobaczmy, co się uda dla nich załatwić.
We're free and clear for flight.
Kawał statku. Ładny jest. Dzisiaj chyba się skupimy jednak na tej misji, bo mnie zaciekawiła. Mamy hotel, po prostu hotel.
We've got some of the best private security in the settled system.
Ekskluzywny hotel po prostu.
Excuse me, you can't just waltz in there. Do you have an appointment? Oh, you're the one they're waiting for then. Do you need anything else from me before you meet with the board? People were a little freaked out around here, understandably. It looks so different and it's so massive. We honestly thought we were under attack by an unknown entity. But then, nothing happened. It just stayed there. No one could communicate with it. And we've been very careful not to alert the resort guests. The board believed it would be bad for business. What I could tell you would get me in a lot of trouble. Most of them are typical C-level execs. I doubt you even need to use your imagination for that. The ones that show up to work day to day, at least. I swear, I've never even met some of them, because they chill at their own private, secluded beach homes all the time.
Spotkał.
Be smart around Oliver. He's got a way of getting what he wants without you realizing it. And that's all I'll say. I can't speak for anyone else, but I've got a pretty high-pressure job working as the executive assistant to the Paradiso board. You can imagine, dealing with a team of execs, trying to manage all of their schedules and their other whims. But it pays well, and they give me a nice executive suite at the hotel to live in, so it's not all bad. Free access to all the resort's amenities after work helps too. Sure, have fun in the shark tank. And don't worry, even they call it that.
Enjoy your stay, knowing...
Ale łyknijmy sobie, bo to podejrzewam, że tu będziemy musieli persuadować, więc korzystajmy. Coś, co dodaje do perswazji. Mieliśmy tutaj coś takiego. Pięć minut.
You're in our capable hands.
I just feel that we should be focusing on the natural beauty of this planet, not our amenities.
I am. And you must be the diplomat Giro told me about. Welcome, welcome. Normally I'd offer you an all-inclusive stay at our resort before we spoke. But given the circumstances, I'm going to cut to the chase. We've got our friends, the aliens, up there, causing all sorts of problems for our resort. You like that? The marketing team came up with it. The thought is, if we can't get rid of them, it might actually attract more tourism. Come see the aliens! Despicable? Hardly. Just a backup plan in case we can't get them to leave. But you're right. No one's going to buy aliens. Remind me to fire the marketing team. So, tell me, what's the actual deal with this massive eyesore of a ship, besides scaring people away? Well, that's something. Shame we can't just tell them kindly to bugger off. Something tells me that's not going to work. Now, tell me, what are we going to do about it? Give me some proposals, people. I need something to work with here.
We could offer to resettle them here. There's more than enough space.
They could stay here, temporarily, but it'll cost them. Quite a bit, too. They'd need to work off all their debts before being allowed to leave.
Maybe not. What if we help them get out of here? Outfit their ship with a grab drive so they can find a new home. We could even lend our engineers to help and give their captain an updated star map. What do you think?
Sounds costly. We can't absorb that cost, and it's unlikely they even have compatible currency, let alone enough for the transaction. Someone else would have to foot the bill.
Oh, I swear this would be a lot easier if they ceased to exist entirely. Anyway, Seema's got the right idea. Either works for me. Just tell me what you want to do. We own this planet, they don't. Here at Paradiso, we don't like leaving things to chance. Who knows what these people will do with their land? Imagine the landscaping disasters they might come up with, and how that might mar the satellite imagery of the planet in our brochures. No, much better to assimilate them into our culture if they come here to live, rather than leave it to chance. Well, absurd or not, that's our official stance. I make the decisions that are best for our entire group. You don't. We operate outside of the Free Stars only, you see, partially because we don't want anyone else meddling in our affairs. And we'd rather not draw attention to it, as I've mentioned. It could be bad for business. We'd much rather settle this independently. I'm not suggesting anything, other than it would make our lives so much easier if that ship ceased existing. Make of that what you will. It's not our responsibility to bear the brunt of that cost. We're being more than generous by offering the use of our engineering team to help install it. A custom grav drive can't come cheap, and I assume they have neither the monetary means nor the connections to get a hold of that kind of technology. That leaves the only other party in this negotiation. You. Oh, I didn't say that specifically. This would be a mutual contract for room and board in exchange for services rendered. Of course, there's no telling how long this arrangement will last, given the substantial costs we'd need to take on in order to accommodate them here, including their continued room and board. But this may save the resort on operating costs in the long term, as we'd be able to let go of some of our current paid staff. And which proposal will you be taking to the good captain? I assume there's a captain? Ah, good on you. You want to see a man named Benny St. James over at Hope Tech. He's the best in the business. If anyone can retrofit a 200-year-old ship with a modern grav drive, it'd be him. We'll coordinate our engineering team with his when you return, though you may have to help the Constance engineers prepare for it on their end. Good luck.
There's a lot of land out there for the taking. It'll be hard. Talk to anyone enlist. But it'll be theirs.
Right. On behalf of the Paradiso Group, we appreciate your help.
There are millions of planets out there. People can go to any one of them. The resort facilities are precisely what we bring to the table. Heck, it's the only thing we've really got to offer.
I don't want to risk us coming off as just another artificial, shady, trash-filled dump like Neon. That's not who we are. We've got something special here. We should embrace that.
Belom's right.
Thank you.
We don't want to compete with Neon. Bayou's ruthless. He'll do anything he can to eliminate the competition. We don't need that kind of trouble. That being said, I think there's a middle ground. Maybe build up the beachfront at a boardwalk amusement park. I've had this idea to build artificial hot springs, that sort of thing.
Sounds good. I'll look into what that will cost us and we can circle back around to this.
Sam co se siadł, kuźwa, na spotkanie z zarządem. Dobra, jedźmy kupić ten napęd. Dobrze, że mamy odłożone sporo kasy. A będzie nas to na pewno trochę kosztować.
I feel my bank account getting drained just standing here.
Gdzieś na jakąś inną planetę lecieć? Nie, chyba tutaj wszystko.
No, don't tell me.
Też wskazuje nam na statek. Gdzie my się mamy teraz dostać? Inaczej to zrobimy. Optech. Pokaż na mapie. Może tu? No to weźmy tam. Mamy kolejne zadanie, ale... Anarion. Halo. Okej. Lećmy na Anarion w takim razie. Nas to będzie kosztować. Aż się boję. Mam nadzieję, że nie więcej jak 100 000 kredytów, bo nie będzie nas stać.
I don't want to hear any complaints.
Excuse me. A little desperate here. This is such a long shot.
Ron hopes the best thing that happens.
All right, Adela.
Until Ron Hope
Deep
came here.
breath. Oh, God. Oh, I'm just great. Grand, really. When I signed on to be a freight captain, I was expecting long hours and dull routes. And now I'm a hair away from being executed. Or worse. Where to start? So, I fly a rust bucket called the Markab for a small shipping line. It just started, really. We do bulk shipping, boring stuff like actuators and seed stock, and minerals. Have you ever had a standard, boring job just blow up in your face? You get it then. So I just got assigned to the Markab. The first shipment? Slag steel. Nothing special. As soon as I left Neon and got scanned, things got crazy. Spacers, Freestar security, the works. Everyone demanding I power down, hand over the contraband, or sometimes just firing first. I skipped the system, ditched the cargo, and have been running ever since. I don't know. I was just flying for my life. But some bad people want it. I'm getting to that part. Sorry. A tracker just landed and I just know he's hunting a bounty. Me. But the trick is, everyone knows the ship. But my info isn't in the database yet. All they got is my last name, Fahim. So if you go into the pit stop and claim you're Captain Fahim of the Markab, maybe you can deal with the tracker? I don't know. I don't want anyone to get hurt, but he may not give you any choice. The company is, well, a real train wreck. I'm amazed they even have my last name on file. For once, working for such a dump is a good thing. Listen, I just haul, well, garbage. But you, I mean, you're armed and look, well, awesome. I figure you could do a solid for the little guy, girl. Plus credits. I did mention the credits, right? You
mean
are
it,
the best. This slate has everything they know about me. It's not much. He's the one with the cowboy hat. Just stay safe. Thank you.
Okay.
Always something good going on around here.
Ale tą misją zajmiemy się przy okazji, a na razie kontynuujemy naszą główną misję.
Trucks in space. Their motto always cracks me up.
Cała fabryka. Ładnie.
Oh, hello. Someone worth paying attention to. Sure, that sounds like me. What can I do for you? I'm a little busy, but I think I could spare some time. Oh, you should have just said that. Of course I can help you. Oliver sent a courier ahead of you. I did some research on ships from that era, and I have a decent idea what we're dealing with. So grab drives didn't really take off until after the ship was built. But I've got access to an ancient grab drive that looks like it could be compatible. With some minor adjustments. It's in good shape too. Parts not cheap though. Neither is the labor. Just pay the combined cost of parts and labor and it's yours.
Nie jest tak dużo.
Wait, we still have business to discuss.
Łyknijmy sobie do perswazji. Zapiszmy. I poperswadujmy.
We could save valuable weight if we got rid of... Ah, right. It's a pretty big ask, given how rare these old grab drives are. True. I keep telling myself I'm holding on to it for the right time. Perhaps this is that right time. You don't know what you're talking about. Look, I'd like to help, but tell you what, sounds like this is for a good cause. While I can't give you the part for free, I won't charge you for the work.
No nie. 15 000 zostaje nam w kieszeni.
I'll get to work on it right away. I recommend you go back to the ship and ask the captain to prepare for its retrofit. Standard stuff. I'm sure they have an engineer on board to help. We'll send the part along when it's ready and install it with the help of Oliver's people. Pleasure working with you.
Okej. Więc wracamy. Aparimy. Moglibyśmy w sumie zniszczyć ten statek, ale...
Cycle the airlock and move.
Now that we know what's out there.
Check coś tu.
Kept everyone fed for all these years here. Food looks good too.
Never seen a ship like yours before. Then again, I haven't seen any ships before you arrived.
Just because our equipment's old.
Tell you how many times I've had to make do with inelegant solutions to complex technical problems. I was hoping to talk to our visitor from outer space, and here you are! Welcome, welcome! I have a million burning questions, but I won't overwhelm you. There will be plenty of time for that later. Please, indulge me just a couple. How did you do it? Did humanity finally discover faster than light travel and eclipse our poor old ship? It's incredible! I read about this technology in our archives from Earth, but it was only theoretical back then. Amazing! I'll have to learn more. Oh, I've got so many questions, but I'm being rude. I haven't even given you my name. Chief Engineer Kazemi, but you can call me Amin. And, I might add, I'm one of the reasons we're still floating out here today. Yes, of course. Anything for my new friend. What grab drive? Just joking with you. The Paradiso engineers filled me in. Okay, let's see what we need to do. All right. This will be fun. And hopefully there will be no explosions in the process. I have just received word that the drive is here. Ready to get to work? Great, great, great! There are 3 preparations I need you to help me make while I set things up on my end. First thing I need you to do is reroute the power from the port turbo pump to the auxiliary cryogenic radiator. Then, turn the plasma runoff inhibitor function to 5%. Last, you'll need to decouple the magnetic flange pipe enclosures from the auxiliary module assembly. Got it? Let's hop to it!
No to naprawmy ten statek. Dobra, co my musimy tutaj zrobić? Przekierowanie zasilania z turbopompy na bak burczy do pomocniczej chłodnicy kryogenicznej, włączenie funkcji inhibitora odpływu plazmy na 5%, a także odłączenie groci magnetycznej rury kołnierzowej. Czyli w pierwszej kolejności zasilanie z turbopompy. To jest chłodnica kryogeniczna. Hydropompa, tak? Turbopompy na backporcie do pomocy, czyli chłodnicy kryogenicznej. Dobra, czyli to jest ten komputer. Jeszcze raz. Zasilanie z turbopompy na backporcie do pomocniczej chłodnicy kryogenicznej. Backporta. Drugi punkt. Inhibitor plazmy na 5%. To był ten komputer. I ostatnie. Podłączeniem groci magnetycznych rurki kołnierzowej od zespołu modułu pomocniczego.
Looks like everything is good to go. Both your end and mine.
Lecimy do kapitana.
We were never trained to address threats coming from outside our ship. The Constant is a peaceful ship.
We didn't believe anyone would be out here, but I'm glad for it. Well, well, it would appear we have the means to go nearly anywhere now, thanks to you. The engineers even upgraded our communications equipment so we can speak with passing ships. Turns out it was a pretty easy fix. Thank you again for all you've done. We don't yet know, but we did receive a star map from the Paradiso engineers. I suppose we'll just chart a course for other suitable habitable worlds until we find one that matches the quality of Paradiso. Purima 2 here. Without you, we'd most likely be stuck. But you went above and beyond. I'll make sure people tell tales of your generosity for as long as our society lives. I don't know if we can ever fully repay you. Thank you again.
No i udało się. Dostaliśmy sporo rzeczy. Więc zobaczmy, co to dostaliśmy. Kij do hokeja. Razy 3. Trochę warty jest. Piłka baseballowa, piłka do koszykówki, piłka do nogi, podręcznik modernizacji napędu, dobytkowa świnka skarbonka, no i słaby pistolet. Więc tam trochę kredytów zarobiliśmy, mniej więcej za ten się powinno zwrócić. Nie pozostaje nam nic innego, jak zakończyć ten odcinek w tym miejscu. Dziękuję Wam za uwagę. Zapraszam na kolejny odcinek z Sunkelanda już jutro. I dajcie znać, czy chcecie więcej odcinków z Sunkeland, czy ze Starfielda. I będziemy to jakoś starali się dzielić. A jak nie, to będzie raz ten. Możecie napisać w komentarzu, co o tym sądzicie. Spodobała mi się i jedna, i druga gra. W Sunkelanda chętnie bym sobie jeszcze pograł. A na dzisiaj Wam dziękuję. Grał z Wami Drakonikus. I do zobaczenia w kolejnych odcinkach. Trzymajcie się, cześć!